Hello, my friends. Dallas with Pursuing the Wild 365. Today, I want to start a series. It'll probably be a three-part series on kind of how I approach some e-scouting and looking about hunting. And I'm going to throw probably some stuff that might be a little controversial out there, but we're just going to go with it. So, here I've selected a spot that I have not hunted. It's part of the National Forest here in Missouri. I have no experience with this area, and so I'm just going to kind of look at it with you guys. So, as we can see, we have a lot of different roads coming through, means a lot of access. It's going to be kind of hard to get back in, get away from people, but that's how a lot of this is. A lot of this area of the Mark Twain is used for off-roading, and so you're going to have people coming through. But looking at this, I'm going to, let's see. I kind of just like this spot. I really like this area right in here. Let me zoom out a little more. Yeah. So I really like the look of this area. It has quite a bit of terrain. It's got what appears to be, I would say, either a full-time or wet weather creek running through it. You've got long fingers coming through. Over here, you've got quite a bit of open area. This is going to be glade. Let me switch to 2D so I can scroll around easier. So you can kind of see there's a lot of glade right up in here. There's a few glades right through here. But I've got a lot of fingers kind of coming through. I've got a couple benches, one here, one right here, one right here. And those benches are something I kind of like to focus on. They're things I tend to just kind of keep an eye on and keep thought of while I'm hunting. So, my first controversial thing is I do not really pay attention to wind that much. Yes, I've got a wind checker. I will check the wind and kind of keep an eye on generally what it's doing. But for me, most of what I will watch is thermals. And if you've got any experience reading a topo map, you will know these are your hill points, and it all flows down into these fingers, down into this valley, which, if you look at it, looks like it's I'd say that's probably a cedar mix. Some good evergreens. Yeah, that creek looks pretty good. You got the trail down at the bottom. Oh, zoom out. So, for me, if I was to hunt this spot, I would mark a couple different places that I think would be kind of beneficial. First place, somewhere right about here. And then I would drop another one up on this bench at that glade. Another one up here. Another one. That's right down in here. So these are the 4 spots. If I was coming and trying to get boots on the ground, set actual eyes on everything, these are the 4 spots I would look at. I know from a lot of my hunting experience, deer like to travel along these ridge lines right around the same elevation, especially when there's glades, which if you look right above this 1,000-foot layer, there's a glade almost all the way around. These long fingers, they're not very steep compared to some of this other terrain. So deer will like to travel up and down these long fingers. They may come across the fingers from here or across over here. You got another long bench and finger right here. These little valleys down here with the creek, they're going to be some very, very good feed and travel. Your deer will kind of come through here, travel along the creek, cross the creek. They'll get water from there, and I feel like just looking at how this terrain lays out, with this pin being down this draw right here, and this pin being right at the finger of that draw, and kind of close to this one, these will be some good spots. So, as I said, I throw wind out the window for the most part. If I've got a strong wind, I pay attention to it, but if it's not probably 20 miles an hour or more, I don't really pay that much attention to it. I will pay more attention to thermals. And that's something I have seen cause a lot of success. So, if you're familiar, thermals in the morning will rise up the hills. Thermals in the evening will rise or fall down the hills. And when I'm paying attention to that in the morning, I will either start out low and then slowly work my way up as the sun comes up, or I will find myself somewhere about halfway and try to set up, because I know the deer will be down in the bottom, and then as the sun heats up that air, they'll move up towards the tops. They'll spend time feeding and bedding up in the top areas, especially on these benches, in the grass of these glades, just inside the trees outside the glade. And they will be able to smell anything that comes below them. And if they're high enough, which most of the time, in my experience, they are, they'll be able to see almost anything above or level with them. So, I would guess this little area right here would probably be a pretty good bedding area. Same with that area right there. They probably would bed right up in there. So I'd want to be in the morning, midday, kind of right up in this general area to catch them coming up into it. And then in the evenings, I will drop all the way down to the bottom. I will hunt the very bottom of these fingers, or pretty darn close to it. Close enough that if I'm up on one of these benches and deer are traveling the bottom below me, I'll be able to see them long before they catch my thermals. It's proven to be a lot of success, and I don't know, I've seen way more deer than I've chosen to harvest in those types of situations. Now, guys, that's it for today. Come back again next time and we will delve into some more and hopefully start picking apart my benches and saddle type of scenario and how I choose. I would love to see or hear what you guys think and different types of e-scouting and tips and tricks that you guys have found helpful. Thank you guys. We will see you next time.